Film scenes only come truly alive with the use of sound effects. Whether it's fight scenes, encounters with weapons, or metal-handed villains, each sound effect must correspond to what is seen on screen. Often, the sound can be captured on location during filming, and if it cannot, sound designers will create it artificially in the studio. The Bond films have a variety of sound effects, too many to make a short demonstration. But here are some examples of sounds that were used. In From Russia with Love, Bond slaps his girlfriend's hand away while on the phone with Moneypenny. The sound effect used here for the first time was Big Heavy Face Slap and can be found on the Warner Brothers sound effects library. It was used again in Looney Tunes Back in Action in 2003.
How do you like that, Mr. Slap Yourself on Your Own Face?
Another effect from the Warner Brothers library is the prop plane power dive scream, and it is featured in 5 Bond films beginning with Goldfinger. Huge explosions are audience favorites, and Explosion Type 2 by the Cinesound library delivered a large explosion sound effect used in many films from the mid-1950s to the early 2000s. It was used in 10 Bond films, and here are 3 examples. As famous as the Walther PPK is as James Bond's weapon of choice, so is its sound. For the very first gun barrel sequence, the sound effect came from Series 1000 sound effects library. But it is Cinesound Gunshot 1, a distinctive gunshot sound effect originally recorded for the Cinesound library that was most prominently featured in the Bond films. Up to GoldenEye in 1995, it appeared in a total of 14 films of the series, often in altered form. Another famous gun sound in the Bond films is the silenced pistol sound. It comes from the Universal Studios sound effects library. It's the most famous silenced weapon sound and can be heard in countless films and games. For instance, in Moonraker, you can hear it used as the sound for James Bond's wrist gun. But sound effects were also used in some of the Bond musical scores, and here is composer Yannick Zenhausen, who will give us famous examples.
In 1995's GoldenEye, it was French composer Eric Serra's turn to come up with the sound for the Bond of the mid-90s. His sound was as unique as it was controversial. In an issue of the French Keyboards magazine that year, Serra had explained there was quite some time pressure and he didn't have much time to contemplate. Surely, one of the boldest moves from the score? Swap the famous twangy electric guitar playing the main Bond riff for a synthesized timpani sound found on the Emu's Protoy synthesizer. Generally speaking, the French composer in that time period used the Emu synth product line quite extensively. The Emu Percussion houses another one of GoldenEye's signature sounds. Its name was shrouded in mystery for many years, until now. Many people refer to it as the clong sound, the sonar, the hollow pipe, among others. His name really is Ice Missile, and it's comprised of a low drum sound and a detuned tambourine sample. After Eric Serra, it was David Arnold who would score the upcoming Bond movies, bringing back a more orchestral and Barry-like sound than his French predecessor. However, David Arnold is also known for his creative and unique use of synthesizers. One of the sounds can be heard in Tomorrow Never Dies, linked to the appearance of the stealth ship. When asked recently on Twitter, David Arnold stated that this is a sound he used as a placeholder and he wanted to get rid of it in the final production and create something from scratch, something he did after Tomorrow Never Dies. However, the sound oil can bow everyone liked so much it had to stay in the final score.
Notable mention, but still unfitting, the slide whistle from the man with the golden gun.
You're not thinking that.
I sure am, boy. Never heard of Evel Knievel?
Can we make that better? Everything can be achieved when you have the right sound effects.